Hello everyone! In this video, we're going to learn how to configure a DHCP server on our switch, and how the DHCP clients can automatically receive their IP addresses. Here is the network topology for today's demo. Our goal is, the DHCP server switch will provide IP addresses to DHCP client 1 switch, 192.168.10.101 and DHCP client 2 switch, 192.168.10.102, using pool binding. The DHCP client 3 switch will receive its IP address, 192.168.10123, using port binding. Let's log into each switch and check their current IP addresses. First, the DHCP server switch. Its IP address is 192.168.10.100. Next, the DHCP client 1 switch. Right now, its IP address is 192.168.10.71. Then, the DHCP client 2 switch. Its IP address is 192.168.10.72, which also doesn't match our goal. Finally, the DHCP client 3 switch. Currently, it has the IP address 192.168.10.73, which again is not what we want. Let's go back to the DHCP server switch and start configuring. On the DHCP server switch, go to DHCP, then click DHCP server. Next, click Mode. Enable the global DHCP server mode. For VLAN range, we'll use the default VLAN1 since we didn't configure any VLANs. Click Apply. Now, let's define excluded IPs. These are the IP addresses we don't want to assign to clients. Since we want the IP address start after 192.168.10.100, we'll exclude the range 192.168.101 until 192.168.10100. This way, DHCP clients will start receiving addresses from 192.168.10.101. Click Apply. Next, let's create a DHCP pool. Click Add New Pool and give it a name. Then select the pool name for configuration. Change the pool type to network. Set the VLAN to 1. The network is 192.168.100 with subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Click Apply. Now, if we go to the statistics page, we can already see 1 DHCP pool created and 1 excluded IP range. If we check the binding page, it's still empty, because no clients have requested IPs yet. So now the DHCP server is ready. Let's move to the DHCP client 1 switch. Go to Basic Setting, then click IP Setting. Enable DHCP v4. Set the fallback. Click Apply. Now the switch will request an IP from the DHCP server. If we go back to the DHCP server switch and open the binding page, we can see that DHCP client 1 switch has been assigned 192.168.10.101. Let's try to access DHCP client 1 switch using this new IP address. And yes, it works. DHCP client 1 switch is now using IP 192.168.10.101. We'll do the same steps for the DHCP client 2 switch. Go to Basic Setting, then click IP Setting. Enable DHCP v4 and set the fallback I. Click Apply. Now client 2 requests an IP from the DHCP server. Back on the server's binding page, we can see DHCP client 2 switch is assigned 192.168.10.102. Let's access the switch using this new IP. Perfect. DHCP Client 2 switch is now using 192.168.10.102. Now let's configure port binding for DHCP Client 3 switch. On the DHCP server switch, go to DHCP and click port binding. Select port 3. Assign it the fixed IP address 192.168.10.123. Click apply. Now connect DHCP Client 3 switch to port 3 of the DHCP server switch. On DHCP Client 3 switch, go to Basic Setting, then click IP Setting. Enable DHCP v4 and set the fallback. Click Apply. The client requests an IP. On the server's binding page, we can now see DHCP Client 3 switch has been assigned 192.168.10.123. Why not IP 192.168.10.103 assigned to DHCP Client 3 switch? Because DHCP Client 3 is connected to port 3 on DHCP server switch that already has a fixed port binding IP address on port 3. Let's access the switch with its new IP. And yes, it's working. Client 3 is now using IP 192.168.10.123. DHCP Client 2 switch with IP 10.102. DHCP Client 1 switch with IP 10.101. And that means our goal is successfully accomplished. Congratulations! You've just learned how to configure a switch as a DHCP server. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.